I just filmed another video. It took 45 minutes. When I started, my tea was too hot, but the perks of having a cup this large, this is 8 deciliters, is that the tea just stays warm for an hour. I'm going to place that there, and I'm not going to forget it, and I'm not going to kick it over when I stand up. Yeah? Good. Happy we're agreed. Today's video is about my wish list, or what I would write on my wish list if I had one. I don't expect to get a lot of gifts this year. I am 31 years old and we don't really do gifts anymore, except me. I do gifts, I knit them. But none of my people would dare give me something knitting related because they know how particular I am, and they would definitely rather be safe than sorry when it comes to yarns and choosing the right thing, because they know that I hate waste as well. So I don't want to be given something that is not just right, because that is just going to go to waste or is going to end up being used instead of something that I would actually love. So no one is going to give me these things. But if I had to give a wish list, this is it. First up is the Knitting for Olive pattern book. The book contains 20 patterns in a bunch of different seasons and styles and occasions. I was looking at the Chrysler top last summer, or now this past summer, but I knit the camisole number 4 from My Favourite Things Knitwear instead. And I was looking at the Darling wrap blouse. I'm still looking at it. There is also a turtleneck, a thin turtleneck. I think it's the Call You One sweater or turtleneck. Did I write it down? No. But that pattern is also in this book and I would like to have it. I've been in line to borrow it from the library for 2 months now. So it's a very popular book and I would like to have it. The second thing that I would have ties into this first pattern book, because I, just like the rest of the internet, have been just enamored by the idea of cashmere. And I don't want the shitty, unethically produced cashmere that's going to pill or disintegrate just if you look at it the wrong way. I want cashmere that will last. And I have heard a lot of positive things about Cardiff cashmere. So I went to the website of the Cardiff cashmere and I saw that they have a bunch of beautiful colours. And I want to knit myself a turtleneck, a brown turtleneck that I can use for all of the year except the very hottest summer months, and that's going to look clean and polished and dressed and be soft. Man. So I found 3 colourways: the 622 Corteccia, the 643 Cacao, or the 733 Baobab. So brown or green. Can you imagine? I would just wear this all year round. I would wear it with my teeny tiniest shorts in the summer and overheat, because it would be so soft and I would love it. But Cardiff cashmere is very expensive, and buying a whole sweater quantity for my body, if I were a size extra small, it wouldn't be such an issue. But I would want a bit of a boxier fit. I want the bit of a dropped shoulder. I want the more androgynous look for this. So, and I want to be able to push the sleeves up, so they need to be a bit bulky. So I would probably knit a size large. So that is going to be a lot of money. One of my goals for next year is definitely to find a second-hand sweater in cashmere, unravel it and use that yarn for this turtleneck project. But if I could dream, I would like the Cardiff cashmere more. Which is also so silly, because why would I need to buy something new produced when I can go and find something and give it a second life? But late stage capitalism, friends. Next up is some more yarn. When my partner and I went to Norway this summer, we went to a lot of yarn shops. I definitely gravitated more towards the locally produced yarn, but I looked at everything, as one does. My partner was so patient with me. I just kept going, I just want to, can you give me 5 minutes? And my partner was like, yeah, sure. Knowing full well that 5 minutes was never 5 minutes, but I had a blast. So in those yarn shops, when I had finished looking at all the local yarn, I looked at the hanks of hand dyed or kooky dyed sock yarn, and hedgehog fibers was just a repeat wow for me. So I went on their website and I found a bunch of beautiful stuff. I didn't buy any of the yarn when we were in Norway because it was expensive and it felt silly to buy something that wasn't local when we were in Norway. So whenever I go to wherever hedgehog fibers is from, where is it from? It's an Irish company? I didn't know. I love that. Ugh, and I want to go to Ireland as well. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was an American company. So if I can buy a service or a pattern from someone in the US, I would do so. But I don't want my money to fuel the shit show that is going on. I want people to survive the shit show. I don't want my money to further the shit show, if you know what I mean. So I want all of my money to go to a small business. I don't want my money to go to a small business, but also a big chunk of it go to fuel the shit show that is the US at the moment. Tangent. But Hedgehog Fibers is an Irish company. That is lovely. I love that. I want to go to Ireland and I am going to go to Ireland. Maybe not next year, but sometime soon, hopefully. But anyway, the yarn that I was looking at was two of their qualities. So one is the sock base, the merino sock base. So the hanks that I'm looking at, all of them are 100 grams. This first base is 90% merino and 10% nylon. So not the usual fibre combination for a sock yarn. I normally have sock yarn that has a higher nylon percentage, but this is also superwash treated, so the felting is going to be staved off by that. But I don't know how durable the yarn would be, but this is a very beautiful yarn and I would be happy to try it. The colorway that I looked out was the Renaissance. I think all of the colours are just so deep and luxe and they go so well together. When I was looking through the sock yarn options, I thought that some of the colorways was going to be too, they were going to stripe too harshly. And I think that this, since it has so much of the red and so well thought out contrasting colours, I think that would make a really beautiful Renaissance looking sock. So I would love the Renaissance sock yarn. I would also love the Shapeshifter colourway or the Fade set, because it goes from one green to a very deep, a light green to a very deep green, and it just looks so beautiful, but it's quite expensive, so I'm not going to go there at this point in time. Then I looked at the non-sock yarn, and I have been toying with the idea of knitting something that looks like stained glass. I love the look of stained glass. It is so ethereal. It feels like an art form that is not human. It's so beautiful that it feels spiritual. How the light hits through and how it looks when it's stormy and how it looks when it's lit from within and it's dark outside. It's beautiful. So I would like to knit a vest that looks like a stained glass. So where the panes of glass are outlined in black and the glass is shown through and it looks like a sunny day. And for that I thought that I'd go for the graphite, the black, and the caterpillar for the sunshiny yellow and green ethereal showstopper look. I can just see it. I would love to make that happen. So I would go for the Oh So Fine Merino in these colorways to make the vest happen. I can just see it. It would be beautiful. I could also see the glass in a more bluish pinkish colorway, but none of the options that I saw I really felt drawn to at this point. But the caterpillar, the yellow, it looks so sunny, it looks so warming, so welcoming. I think it would look great in any season of the year as well, because in the dead of winter you want something to brighten up your day, and in the height of summer you would want something to reflect that sunny mood. So I think this color combination could be appropriate any time of year. And my last item on the wish list is something that I'll probably give myself when I go to Norway in January. Because when I was visiting Norway, I bought some of the alpaca forte yarn from Dale Garn. So it's an alpaca sock yarn with a bit of nylon, and it is fluffy, it's quite thick, it's very soft, and it's very warm. It feels very squishy, for lack of a better word. I want to make myself a pair of long johns because I seem to wear through them if they are too thin. I need a pair of thicker ones. I want to knit myself a pair of long johns. I actually attempted this years ago. I think it was in uni or shortly after, and I had finished a leg and a half. I had put it in hibernation because I had missed my chance for that winter. I was going to pick it up again in the autumn, and I went to pick it up to find that there was stuff living in it. It was so gross. That's also one of the reasons why I'm so very tough with how I store my knits and making sure there is no cross-contamination happening and airtight containers and everything, because that feeling of pulling out a knit project that was nearly finished, I had never gotten to wear them, it was nearly finished, and I felt my hand go through the fabric, and I was like, how has this snagged somewhere? Because it didn't even cross my mind that there was going to be anything living and eating on it. And I was looking at it, there was one hole, and I could have sort of explained away one hole because maybe it had snagged, or I hadn't noticed that the fibres were coming undone or something, or maybe I had secured ends in a sloppy way or something. But then I actually saw tiny little creepy crawlies on it, and I just yeeted that as far as I have ever yoted anything in my life. And now 5 or 6 years later, I'm ready to start again. I am ready to cast on a pair of long johns again, And this time with the Alpaca Forte, I would probably not go for the stark white. I would probably not go for a crazy color either. I think I would love to have a pair of like pea green or sky blue long johns, but I think the most sensible for me and for the use that I have for them would be a pair of neutrals. So probably the colorway latte beige in a melange color, so a bit of variegation in the yarn. But I will see when we go to Norway what they have in store, which colorway and what I like the most, because I want to buy this in store. I don't want to have to ship it because I will be going there anyway. I will be having an empty suitcase or an empty-ish suitcase to fill with yarn. I'm not going to overbuy, but I want to get myself a pair of long johns. Although I am considering I might actually get 2 colorways. I'll have to think about it, but the Alpaca Forte for some long johns for myself, that's something that I'll actually probably just buy for myself. The other ones can stay on my wish list. The Knitting for Olive book I'm going to borrow from the library, and if I love one of the patterns and I have to return the book, I will look into either buying the book or just buying the pattern as it is. So let me know what's on your knitting wish list or your wish list in general. If you liked the video, please like it. If you want to, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to, please click right there, and that will take you to the video playlist of all of my Vlogmas 2025 videos. Until next time, take care. Whew, didn't spill my tea.